Hey there, welcome. We should talk about gifts. Not just any gifts, but the ones that actually stick around, the ones that have some real meaning to them. We're going to dive into this really cool idea that's all about history, sustainability, and just genuine thoughtfulness.
Oh, you know the drill, right? You head over to a party, bring a nice bottle of wine, and poof, it's gone by the end of the night. Or you bring this gorgeous bouquet of flowers, and they're looking pretty sad by the middle of the week. It's that classic hostess gift problem. It's nice, sure, but it's temporary. I think we can do better. So, what's the alternative then? What if your gift could tell a story and, I don't know, last for decades? Well, the answer, as you can see right here, is something pretty special. It's forged in silver.
Okay, so let's break this down. We are talking about old forks and spoons and knives, yeah, real pieces from like 100 years ago that are rescued and given a whole new purpose. They get hand-stamped to label herbs and plants, turning this piece of forgotten history into a beautiful and super functional tool for a modern garden. And here's where this whole idea really starts to shine. We are talking about a lifespan of 50 plus years. Just let that sink in for a minute. This is not a gift that's going to rot or break after one season. It's something that could genuinely last a lifetime out in the garden. And this chart just lays it all out, doesn't it? I mean, look at your typical plastic tags. They're headed straight for the landfill in a year or two. Wooden stakes, they just rot away. Even those modern copper tags, you're lucky to get a decade out of them. But vintage silver, 50 plus years, zero impact on the environment because it's repurposed, and the thoughtfulness level, well, it's just off the charts. It's not even a fair fight.
But the practical side of things is only half the story here. To really get it, you've got to understand the deeper side of this. Let's just call it the soul of the silver. And isn't that the honest-to-goodness truth? When you actually hold one of these, you can literally feel the history, that density, the smooth, worn texture. This is a piece that has been through a century of family dinners and world wars. You're not just giving a garden label, you're handing someone a real, tangible piece of the past.
Yeah, no kidding. You can spot a modern replica from a mile away, right? They just look and feel kind of cheap. But that genuine patina you see on an old piece of silver, that soft, aged glow, that is something that is earned over a long, long time. It's a mark of authenticity you just can't fake. And this, right here, is a perfect example of what people call the circular economy. We're not just melting these down for scrap metal. Think of it more like a rescue mission. You're taking this beautiful piece of craftsmanship that was literally headed for the scrap bin and giving it an upgraded purpose, a brand new job that could last another 100 years. And that brings us to a really key practical point here, the heft. That solid, substantial feeling, it's not just for show. When a gardener pushes one of these markers into the soil, it stays put. It's not going to get pushed up by the frost or snap off in a heavy wind. It is a literal anchor for the garden. And just think about the message that this sends. We live in a world of fast food, fast fashion, fast everything. A hand-stamped vintage marker, it's slow. It took time for the original artist to design it, and it took time for a modern craftsperson to carefully stamp it. The person who gets this gift, they feel that effort. They know some real thought went into it. All right, so let's say you're on board. But how do you pick the right one? Let's get practical for a minute and walk through a quick little guide to gifting a piece of history.
So here's your checklist. First off, try to match the pattern to the person's taste. If it's a fork, make sure the tines are nice and straight. Then, give it a little tap. You want to hear a solid, dull thud, not some flimsy, tinny sound. Make sure the stamping is deep and clear so it's going to stay readable for years to come. And hey, don't forget to mention that it's a piece of history that was saved from a landfill.
And here is a fantastic little insider tip. You might see a little bit of iridescent, kind of rainbow tarnish deep in the grooves of the pattern. Whatever you do, don't polish that off. That right there is a badge of honor. It shows the piece's true age and all its character.
All right, let's just quickly tackle a couple of the common questions people have before they go and stick one of these treasures in the soil.
So this is a big one. People worry about that kind of ugly green corrosion you sometimes see on cheap metal, right? And the answer is a definite no. It will not turn green. Instead, it's going to develop this dark, really rich patina over time that's just tarnish, and it actually protects the metal underneath. Honestly, most gardeners find that weathered look fits perfectly in a natural garden setting. They kind of love it. And here's another really important one. Are you putting anything harmful into your organic vegetable patch?
You can rest assured it is absolutely safe. The base metals they used back then are super stable. They're not going to leach anything nasty into your soil, unlike some of the treated plastics or painted woods you might find out there. And really, this is what it all boils down to, isn't it? A gift like this, it says something really profound. It tells your friend or your family member that you see their passion for gardening and you think it's worthy of something special, something with a real story. So, the final takeaway is pretty simple. Get something that has some weight to it. It's direct, it's honest, and it's so much better than another gift card. You're giving them a piece of the past to help their future garden grow.